Hello YouTube, and this is how to repair a litter pick and modify one at the same time. As you can see here, these extra long ones here, the handle isn't actually held on other than friction, so what I end up doing, I'll take this piece out of the way so you can see, is I place a piece of wood in here that goes up to here, and then a bolt goes through the top and it's fixed in place with some epoxy resin, so it stops the handle falling off, because when we use these in a river, and literally from a brand new unit the handle will fall off in less than a few hours because they just wiggle and fall off. So that's the first modification we do. Second one is, as you can see, this one has got no cable, because the original cable is a very on these long ones, it's a very thin cable. Instead of a thin cable or a string that's used in the short ones, we use an inner gear cable from a mountain bike. The best to use the inner gear cable, not the brake cables, because the gear cable is more flexible for this application. Other thing you'll need to make this modification is an electrical choko block, and you wind the screws down and then cut the tops off here. If you can see that there, you cut the tops off, the screws will come out, and then you are left with one of those. So the first thing we do, rather annoying, that it comes packaged with plastic. Why? Unnecessary plastic. But there you go. So we take a new piece of cable, we thread a new cable through, and obviously remove the other piece of plastic, and then we need to now feed that through and put it back together. Once you've got him to there and you've got him lined up nicely onto there, you've just given it a bit of a pull like that, so the cable takes the shape. Feed that back through here. Give it another tight pull, make sure it's nice and tight, and then we take this head electrical connector, providing I can get the screws out far enough. And then we just pre-tension it. Just check it to see, just initially, just to see if it's going to work properly. See here, it's not fully closing, so we need to just adjust that slight bit more. Check it again, it's fully closed, and then there's a little bit of play this end as well, so that's ideal. Actually I want to, oh, almost, that's better, it's fully closed. Then we fully tighten the screws. That, so we should have a fully working unit, we hope. As you can see, yes, and a little bit of play at that end, so yeah, that's locking nicely, so we know that's going to work. Next stage of the proceedings, remove the excess cable. So I've got a pair of nice cutters here, which we'll do now. Remove that, and the next part is this. This is a ferrule that's normally put on the end of cables on a bicycle to stop the cable. If this cable comes unravelled, which I'll simulate here, so The idea is you twist them back together as much as you can. Luckily this one has come off nice and neatly. And then you put the ferrule on the end of here. And you clamp it on there as tight as you can get it. Like that, fully tight. The whole point of doing that is if you're on a, we use these on a river, and if there's someone else, you've got two people in the boat and you're waving this around and you've got cables all nice and sharp there and that hits someone in the eye, it doesn't take their eye out, so it's a safety issue. And the next stage in the proceedings is put these pieces of plastic back into place. If you don't put these back into place, what I found out, I did it once and once only, I forgot to put these back in place, and the next time I went out I was wrestling with a shopping trolley, and this is the integral strength. Without this piece of plastic in place it twists, and I twisted it and bent it in half. I was lucky enough I was able to straighten it and bodge a piece of wood in it and bodge it back together, so it still works. The other useful thing, if you're using it for river applications, I've used this glow in the dark type paint, so when you've got this in the deep of the water you can actually see the end of this underneath the water. So there you go, one recycled litter picker. Also, as you can see here, use these in the river application. If you drop these overboard in your boat, they sink to the bottom, as I found out myself. So, plastic bottle, couple of cable ties, floats in the water, so you don't lose your litter picker. Happy YouTubing!